I swear to God, I live in Bizarro land.
Get ready for the next battle.
Hello, my name is Vaderfly, and I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel. I do appreciate it, true believers. I hope you guys are doing well. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also follow me on Instagram right over here at the King of Dreamers. Also follow me on my Twitch page as well. I also would appreciate it as well. Help us get us to 1,000 subscribers this year. We're gonna go above and beyond and help us build a better community. So recently, Anthony Mackie did a interview at the Rome premiere for Captain America: Brave New World. He needless to say some stuff that a lot of people took umbrage with. Not only just people on the right, but also people on the left. And a lot of people just wanted to sit down and kind of go, what? So without any further ado, I would like to go ahead and read the quote, what he said at the Rome Film Festival. And I quote, "For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations," Mackie said. "It's about a man who kept his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity, someone who is trustworthy and dependable," end quote. Now, you read that, and you're just like, what? America's literally in the man's name. He represents America's ideas. He doesn't just represent certain aspects of America. He represents America's ideas. And a lot of the times, since I've been going back and rereading a lot of the old Captain America comics through sites of ill repute, we've noticed that that's what he stands for. He stands for fighting for the little guy, standing for the American idea, the American people, going against whomever that is in office at the time. So for him to say this is kind of moronic. But here at Vaderfly's channel, here with me, I like to try to be as fair as possible. So I actually watched the clip of him saying this, and you can kind of tell he was kind of put off guard, and he was trying to figure out the best way to say what he was saying. And I will be fair about that. And he also has come out later with a statement that basically tries to clarify what he actually meant, that he wasn't kind of trying to attack America and his values. He was kind of more or less trying to, it's just not one idea and so on and so forth, which, okay, you know, he says that he's proud to be an American, which fine. That's fine. That's not the issue that we're having here. I think the problem that a lot of people are having with this statement is because after the Falcon and Winter Soldier, which once again is my least favorite MCU show, you can quote me on that, is one of the most disrespectful to the Captain America legacy, where we watch this character not accept his duty and not accept who he is. And yeah, I don't mind the reluctant hero story. Everybody has a reluctant hero story. But the problem with Sam Wilson was he got upset at somebody else taking the mantle, and I hate using the mantle because mantles are stupid in comics. And yeah, once again, you can quote me on that. Even with The Flash, with Barry Allen and Wally West, yes, it's still stupid. But he didn't even want the shield in the MCU. And so for his character to evolve to this point, it kind of makes sense with what he's quoting and saying. Now, once again, with full context and everything, like I say, you can find the video out there. He is kind of trying to figure out the best way to kind of tackle the question. And with him coming out and trying to clarify his statement, he's trying to basically kind of be like, no, that's not exactly what I meant. But here's the thing. A lot of people are just looking at Sam Wilson not because he's Captain America. It's just because he's a black man becoming Captain America. That's the problem with this whole thing. The thing is that we have lost the idea of actually working to be better and being accepted by our values of being better, but we are now more accepted by our skin tones and who we are as our sexualities. This is why a lot of people had a problem with this quote. And once again, it's not just right-wingers, it's also left-wingers as well had a huge issue with this quote. So it comes to me and it boils down to this one sentiment that a lot of people do not understand Captain America and his ideology. I see this all the time on threads or Reddit or even on Twitter, where a lot of people are just like, he's Captain America, deal with it. No, that's the whole point of being an American. You get to protest and speak your mind. And if you have to just deal with something, well, guess what? That's kind of being the thing you guys are claiming you're fighting, being in a dictatorship, which I think is kind of funny, and it's super ironic in a way. This is just another case and another sign that the MCU doesn't know what it wants to be and doesn't know what it wants to do. It shows me that nobody actually gives a damn anymore, and it's been very clear from the get-go. We see Steve Rogers start off as a person without even the super soldier serum, wanting to do the best for the little guy in the MCU specifically. He wants to do the best for the people. And even in Winter Soldier, that movie as well, we see him fighting against the government itself 2 times, Winter Soldier and Civil War. Here we see a Captain America that doesn't embody those values. As much as people want to try to claim that he does, he really doesn't. He sides with terrorists. He shirks his duties as once a PTSD specialist when it comes to veterans, and he beats the living crap out of John Walker. Now, don't get me wrong, should he have killed that man? Probably not, but either way, he was a soldier that was dealing with something. He was dealing with loss, something that Sam Wilson himself has dealt with, and same with Bucky dealt with loss, and they beat the crap out of him. I want to repeat that. They try to make John Walker into this bad guy, but in actuality, in the end, Sam came off more of the bad guy than John did. And you can quote me on that as well. We try to give Sam this backstory that there's nothing to it. There is a lot of telling and no showing. At least when we got to see Steve and Bucky grow up, we got to see it happen. We get to see his character progress through the 3 movies and Infinity War and Endgame. As much as people crap on Steve for deciding to give up and go back to Peggy Carter at the very end, actually it's his character progression. He gave up so much for everybody else, he never got a chance to live his own life. So the parallels of Tony sacrificing himself and Steve actually getting to live the life that he's always wanted to live, it actually is poetic. It's like what George Lucas always said.
And then that with Anakin, kind of duplicating the Luke Skywalker role, but you see the echo of where it all is going to go. And instead of destroying the Death Star, he destroys the ship that controls the robots. Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme, every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one. Hopefully it'll work.
In the end, I really do have a problem with this quote. And once again, I want to be very clear. He said he misspoke. But I still have an issue with this is because a lot of people as of lately have this negative sentiment about America. And it bothers me that we're using our characters to try to be negative about America. Now, once again, Captain America, I will fully admit, has social political ideology throughout it. But like I said, as of right now, I am currently rereading the very old issues all the way up as we are currently speaking right now. There's a lot of stuff that's very great about it. Honestly, there's a lot of things about Sam Wilson's character that I like in the comic than they do in this movie. They actually give Sam a rich backstory. Funny enough, one of the issues that I'm currently reading, he's trying to run for a mayoral position, but a lot of people are questioning him because of his past action as a criminal, which kind of funny how we, what we're dealing with today. The thing of it all is people are very polarized. So any kind of negative material, any kind of negative thoughts, any kind of things that we don't want to hear, we're immediately going to jump to the worst possible conclusion. And that is the worst thing. We shouldn't have to jump to the worst possible conclusions just because there's a black person or a gay person or there's women or there's something kind of wokish in a movie. We shouldn't have to jump to the worst possible conclusions. But unfortunately, we have to. It's because these companies and these people have just for almost a decade and a half treated their customer base like absolute dog crap. They've done it to us in comics, they've done it to us in tabletop, they've done it to us in video games, and they're doing it into our movies. And people are saying enough is enough. Is it fair? No, I don't think it's 100% fair, and I'm not sitting here and saying it's fair. But if you've gone through something so many times, guess what? You're gonna act a certain way when you see certain things. So this makes very much sense why people are acting the way against this, and this hurts Brave New World even more. Brave New World was already hurt because of all the rewrites, and then plus on top of it, it was hurt because it had originally an Israeli hero in it, which now they're just like, nope. Then on top of that, how the MCU has been handled just in the get-go, plus everything else surrounding this movie, and now this quote. It's maddening that we live in a time period where people can say this and then be okay with it. Look, it's his opinion. If he feels that way, cool. But like I said, he clarified he doesn't feel that way. But it's still out there, and now people are going to latch onto this, and it could hurt this movie. I'm going to be very honest. I have never been a fan of Sam Wilson as Captain America, never will be a fan of Sam Wilson as Captain America, and never shall be a fan of Sam Wilson as Captain America. I've said this before. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, even in the comic books, even now in the movies or the television shows, that the black people get a black Captain America and the white people get a white Captain America. And you think I'm being funny about that, but if you go actually watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, very much it is very much indicated that they won't let a black man hold the stars and stripes, and he's the black version of Captain America. And that's very much how they handled the message in that show. While they're trying to say that yes, he can be a black man that can rise up to being Captain America, that's not what they're gonna do with this. It's the same way how they've handled Miles' character. Even though yes, they don't say that he's the black version of Spider-Man, and even though Miles himself has tried to push against that notion in the comic books himself, how the comic book writers and the video game writers have wrote him is that he is the black Spider-Man. He's the black Spider-Man that protects all the black people and the minorities, wherein Spider-Man himself was doing that for years, and same with Captain America was doing that for years. They didn't need a black sidekick, and that's what they are, black sidekicks, to all of a sudden be affirmed that they are black heroes of the minority people. I think it's kind of disgusting, and it takes away the values of these characters, and it really does bother me, and it makes me kind of upset because you're just purposely trying to shove your own ideology and try to say that, oh, these guys that wrote these stories before, they just didn't understand what we were getting at. No, they understood because they grew up in those times, and they wanted to try to give representation to the people that didn't have that at the time. Falcon, one of the first black superheroes that didn't have the title black in his name. That's kind of historic. Not only that, was able to go along toe-to-toe with Captain America and go side to side with Steve Rogers for many years before he was given or demoted, I would say, the value of Captain America, in my personal opinion. Now, that's what I've got to say. I personally don't like to get this weird and mad, but as of lately, I've been seeing a lot of this kind of rhetoric that is just really gross, and it really bothers me because it's a lot of the times it's people of not my skin color trying to speak for me, and I'm really getting tired of it. I will speak for myself. No, he is not my Captain America, and he will never be my Captain. Steve Rogers will be my Captain America, and same with Peter Parker will always be my Spider-Man. Even though I cosplay Miles from Into the Spider-Verse, but that is like the only variation I like of that character. But I hope you guys are having a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. I don't mean to be dour, but I wanted to just get that out there because in my heart, I'm so tired of this. I am so tired of this. And I've seen other black YouTubers complain about this, even though they don't make it well known, but they have complained about this. And we need to really start standing up and start saying enough is enough. So with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I love you guys so much. You guys are amazing. Remember, you are the makers of your own destiny. Keep your head above water. Keep your dreams alive. Subscribe. Bye-bye.